I am not going to lie. I hated the Galaxy S21 when I first heard about it. It had dropped a lot of features from its predecessor, the Galaxy S20, and did not get any price cuts, at least where I live. But then I got my hands on one and my views changed completely. I'm Rohan from TechieTechTech and let's talk about my long term experience with the regular Galaxy S21. Here we go. We'll get to the plastic part in a bit, but before that, I would just like to take a moment to appreciate this new, beautiful design language of the Galaxy S21. I love how they've integrated the camera module to the aluminum frame of the phone. It looks unique and very sophisticated, especially in this phantom white color. With its compact size and lightweight, the Galaxy S21 is my new favorite device for one-handed use. The flat screen and the matte finish of the plastic back further help in ensuring a proper grip on the phone. Let's talk about the one controversial feature now, the plastic back. To all the people who said that the plastic feels no different than glass, with all due respect, I think you're wrong. I used the Galaxy S21 Ultra before the S21 and it is quite a noticeable difference between how that phone feels versus how the regular S21 feels. But here's the thing, I love the plastic back. It's not slippery, it's not glossy, and it won't shatter if I end up dropping it. It's actually really high quality plastic and feels more refined than the material on the Galaxy S20 FE. It doesn't feel as premium as glass, but hey, at least I don't have to worry about having a case on my phone all the time. Fun fact, if you turn the flashlight on and put a finger on it, the light shines through the plastic to give this really cool looking effect. Flip over and we have the flat Full HD Plus 120Hz display. It is excellent. It's no surprise that the core quality of the display is top notch. After all, it is a Samsung panel and they've been known to dominate this space for quite some time now. What was unexpected for me was how much I liked using the flat display. I don't have to grip the phone a certain way to avoid accidental touches, and I don't have to adjust the tilt while watching videos to minimize glare. I know these sound like they are not big deals, but these tiny things add on to really shape up the entire user experience. I used the curved screen on the S21 Ultra before switching to the S21 and I can tell you with full confidence that I much prefer the flat screen of the S21 in place of the curved screen of the S21 Ultra. Anyway, let's talk about the software experience now. The Galaxy S21 runs Samsung's Android skin OneUI atop Android 11. Now OneUI is great. It literally gives you everything. First off, it is extremely smooth and fluid. I encountered zero lags, no frame drops and zero stutters while browsing through the general user interface. Every animation carries itself in a very relaxed and graceful manner, which I really appreciate. Another major positive for me is the software update situation. Samsung promises 3 major software updates for all their flagship smartphones, which is excellent when compared to competing Android manufacturers. You also get a ton of features and a lot of customizability options. However, such an overload of features can get overwhelming for many users. There's also a Samsung alternative for basically every Google service in the phone, which could be useful or could be bloatware depending on whether you end up using all these Samsung services. My major issue with OneUI is that they have started pushing ads in the general user interface and the system applications. While this is bad on any phone, it particularly hurts to see it on such an expensive flagship phone which promises to deliver a premium software experience. Anyway, let's talk about the performance now. Samsung's Exynos 2100 is supposed to be a major step up over the previous Exynos 990. As someone who used the S20 a lot last year, that major step up is only noticeable when you push the phone to its limits. So in the general user scenarios with your lightweight social media apps or news apps or texting, the Exynos S21 performs flawlessly, so good that you would be hard pressed to find any issues. Switch over to gaming though and things are a bit underwhelming. See, while the Exynos 2100 is a significant step up over the Exynos 990, it is still not buttery smooth. The games are all still very playable with mid to high graphics settings, but the whole experience is not flagship level. First off, most games that I tested did not support the highest possible graphics settings, which is something that you would not expect on the latest and greatest flagship smartphone. Secondly, I compared the performance on this phone to last year's OnePlus 8 Pro and it performed better with support for higher graphics settings despite its CPU being a generation older. See, the thing is that the Exynos 2100 is a brand new CPU, so developers will take some time to optimize their games according to it. And since Exynos is not as widely sold as Snapdragon, that game optimization often gets delayed or never happens at all. To put it all in a nutshell, the Galaxy S21 is an extremely capable phone if you don't game on your phone. Even if you play intensive games occasionally, the Galaxy S21 will definitely fulfill your requirements. But if you are really serious about smartphone gaming, get an iPhone or a Snapdragon powered phone instead. Let's talk about the cameras now. Apart from the new camera module design, on paper the Galaxy S21 sports roughly the same camera hardware as that on the Galaxy S20 from last year. It sports a 12MP f1.8 primary camera, another 12MP f2.2 ultra-wide camera and a 64MP f2 telephoto camera. Let's find out how the S21 performs in real life with the same camera hardware and yet a brand new processor. As always, we'll talk about the photos first and then move on to the videos. The 12MP primary camera shoots sharp pictures both indoors as well as outdoors. The pictures have vibrant colors and high dynamic range. By default, it tends to expose to the shadows, so the pictures turn out to be brighter with colors that pop out. Even though the ultra-wide camera has fixed focus, the Galaxy S21 does not compromise on the image quality. It takes well-exposed stills with decent distortion and noise levels. The 1.1x optical 64MP telephoto lens uses hybrid zoom to create 3x zoomed-in stills. The image stabilization is surprisingly good, which leads to sharper pictures with respectable details. Subject separation while shooting portraits has also majorly improved over last year's Galaxy S20. Also, the skin tones and dynamic range are very well managed. We see very similar performance in selfies with accurate skin tones, less smoothing and sharper pictures. Low light performance has also improved since last generation. The Galaxy S21 shoots sharper pictures which are bright and have low noise in comparison. Moving on to the videos, in terms of resolutions and frame rates, the Galaxy S21 can shoot videos in 8K at 24fps from the rear cameras and in 4K up to 60fps from both the front and rear cameras. The video quality is excellent in terms of colors and dynamic range. Moreover, the flagship level image stabilization across all three lenses adds the cherry to the top. In conclusion, the Galaxy S21 is the right choice of camera for all kinds of users. The simple camera UI and image processing delivers excellent picture quality for some serious photography or even some casual use like posting on social media. Thanks to the powerful hardware and features like 8K recording, HDR10+, and RAW shooting support, the Galaxy S21's camera can easily tend to the requirements of the most professional users. Frankly, I think the Galaxy S21's camera is going to make all kinds of users extremely happy. Moving on to battery life, things actually turned out better than I expected. Exynos CPUs have traditionally been bad at power efficiency, which translates to bad battery life. This is not the case with the Galaxy S21. While it's not an endurance king or anything, it easily lasted a day for me, which translates to roughly 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time. You can even stretch it to a day and a half or 2 days by using some power saving methods. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a massive improvement over last year's Galaxy S20 and I'm all for it. Apart from this, the Galaxy S21 supports fast charging, fast wireless charging and reverse wireless charging. However, it does not come with a power adapter in the box, only a Type-C to Type-C charging cable. Now for a few random highlights before we conclude. The in-display fingerprint sensor is the best one in any smartphone because it's fast, it's reliable and you don't have to wake up the screen to use the sensor. The phone call experience is simply unrivaled. It catches a signal and holds on to it better than any other phone I've used. Even the earpiece quality is crystal clear. This phone is a joy to use if you take a lot of phone calls. Now for the conclusion. The Galaxy S21 is simply the best regular sized Android phone you can buy today. It has the best display, an excellent camera system, great performance and good battery life. Sure, its price is a bit high right now, but it's Samsung, so expect to see a lot of offers and discounts in a couple of months. The thing is that every year Samsung's S series sets the benchmark for smartphones to follow. I think that's what the Galaxy S21 is. A benchmark which is not only excellent by itself but also really hard to beat for the competition. I hope this video helped you out, and if it did, help us back by liking this video, sharing it and subscribing to our channel. This has been Rohan from TechieTechTech, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.